Comrade, it's a great time having you. I'm Bismarck said. I have a lot of motivational message on YouTube. You go to YouTube, my channel. I use the name Bismarck said. I have a lot of motivational message. Nothing can stop you. Watch them, subscribe to them for me. I'm counting on you guys to help me. Also, when you go to YouTube, I have another channel. Your marriage will be a state of mind. There are a lot of teachings on dating and courtship and marriage. Watch them, subscribe to them for me. I have this ebook for you guys. Go to Amazon, Kano, and Gamro. These ebooks, the sales are not going. Help me to drive the sales. I'm counting on you guys. Building your Amazon, Kano, and Gamro, building your competitiveness in the crowded planet, $4. It will be impossible to have this world without you, $4. It'll be your marriage will be a state of mind to the world, $5. There is something inside you, the world is in need of, $4. Leaders of generation thinkers, $5. Go to Amazon, Kano, and Gamro for these books. Thank you so much for your blistering support and grandiose support in giving me all this. Wow, thank you. Those who follow me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere. Thank you so much. In the next 15 minutes, I want to share with you motivational message I've entitled, "This is your country. You cannot afford to wait." This is your country. You cannot afford to wait. And as a matter of fact, one of your best friends in the world, patriotism should be one of your best friends in the world. So expressively, expansively, let your country discover the world is never knew it existed. Through commingle of your eclectic effort and consolidating your gains for gravitational resourcefulness. So basically, I help your country discover the world it never knew it existed when you demonstrate your eclectic effort, or when you help towards consolidating the country's gain for its gravitational resourcefulness. Any country have resourcefulness, and it depends on you how you commingle your effort. Someone like Abraham Lincoln, who was an American lawyer, politician, and statesman, the 16th president of the U.S. over the period, understood what it means to contribute towards achieving that grandiose support for its country. Constitutionally, also, there are many beautiful places in the world. If you cannot find one, let your country be one of them by operationalizing attenuating measures to implement any knee-jerk approach that is very monstrous towards the productivity and efficiency of a country. Basically, what I'm saying that there are a lot of beautiful places in the world. If you cannot find one, work towards dealing with any approach your country will be using that is not helping the country to achieve the needed results when it comes to productivity and efficiency. See how best you can be very blistering and Beijing support you can help towards achieving that. A man called South Korea former president Park Chung-hee, was that time became the president of the South Korea. At that time, he introduced the policies, economic policies they call the economic, but they call it the miracle on a handover. It was through that policy the country got the chabols. Chabols were companies, family companies that the state helped them to grow, like Hyundai, LG, Samsung during that period. Park Chung-hee, the former South Korean president, understood what it means. But there are a lot of beautiful places in the world. You cannot find one, can help the country achieve one by attenuating operational and attenuating measures that help to implement any major approach when it can, that's very monstrous the country's productivity and efficiency of the period towards achieving what they ought to achieve. And these are things incontrovertibly. You also equip yourself with them without any ambivalence or without any doubt. Let us help towards restructuring our country's burgeoning growth, or let us help towards restructuring our country's intensified growth with your impeccability or with your qualities. Personally, convert your mental blocks to building blocks, and that of personality help. Personally, how do you help your country achieve that without any ambivalence? You personally work towards every time how you convert your mental blocks to building blocks. How do you convert your ideas? How do you convert your intentions to actions to achieve something controvertibly? That'll be evidence in the eyes of everybody. Also think of, and also how do you help personalities in your country that have become belligerent underperformers? How do you help them and people have become perennial achievers? How do you help them to also convert their mental blocks to building blocks? Through that, you help to restructure your country's building group consistently over the period. It is this Chinese president, Xi Jinping, the chief president of China over the period, understood what it means to help himself, help convert his mental block to building blocks, to help personalities who are belligerent and performance and perennial achievers to perform very well to help the country to achieve what it has to achieve. There's this quote from a man, a Chinese philosopher, Confucius. Confucius was a Chinese philosopher once said that in a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. In a country where it's well governed, poverty is to be ashamed of. In a country where it's badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. Indeed, Confucius is right. Let our country experience the pinnacle possible life development, especially in developing lower middle income countries where we have a lot of leaders who always try to seek their parochial interests, rent-seeking activity and racketeering activity at the expense of the country. And these are very repetitive, unpleasant for us as a country to deal with them. This man, I want to tell you a story about a man I've told you already, Park Chung-hee. He was the third president of South Korea in 1963, and he was assassinated in 1974. He was a second highest rank in the Korean army in South Korea, and before he carried on a military coup d'etat and brought an end to the South Korean Second Republic and became the president in 1963. He exhibited a gravitational force to reach the nirvana of his presidency when he was able to achieve that during his presidency. Under that, he took a lot of serious economic reforms that led to rapid development and industrialization phenomenon of the what was a phenomenon that was called the miracle of hand over river. During that period, his permeating and penetrating ideas helped the country to efficaciously effectuate their substantial growth over the period. And it's being remembered. During that period, South Korea became one of the fastest growing economies in the 1960s and 1970s. That was the time there was a formation of the chaebols. Those chaebols were family business that was supported by the state to grow. The Hyundai, the LG, the Samsung. Was during his presidency, all those companies went to the pinnacle. All those companies culminated, they went to the zenith. That, like, these chaebols can be compared with the Japanese Zabatu. And also the Japanese also have those caliber of companies, the family business. They also have what I call Zabatu. Also during that period, Park Chung-hee rebalanced his country with the level of explosiveness with pertinent reforms in multitudinous sectors of the economy. In 2001, he's dead and gone. In 2001, Gap, a Korean poll conducted, indicated that Park Chung-hee is among one of the highest rated presidents of South Korea in history in terms of leaving that positive legacy. He left that fundamental and certain legacy of excellence that is even in the minds of the South Koreans and everybody in the world. You cannot afford to wait. This is your country. I want to remind you, go to my YouTube channel. I use the name Bismarck Osei. Have a lot of motivational message. Watch them, subscribe to them for me. I'm counting on you guys to help me. Also, the same YouTube have another channel. Your marriage will be a state of mind. A lot of teachings on dating and courtship. Go and watch them, subscribe to them for me. I'm counting on you guys to help me. I have these ebooks. The sales are not going. I hope you guys will help me drive the sales. Put your competitiveness in the crowded planet. $4. Go to Amazon, Kendall, and Cameron. It will be possible to have this war without you. $4. Your marriage will be a state of mind to a war. $5. There is something inside you. The world is in need of $4. Leaders of Generation Thinkers, $5. Go to Amazon, Kendall, and Cameron and get these books for yourself. I'm counting on you guys. Help me. I have a lot of books. I have a lot of books at Amazon, Kendall, and Cameron. Go and buy those books for me. I'm counting on you. So let me wrap up on this. Someone will ask, what are some of the reverberating ways I can help my country reach the burgeoning growth? Or simply, what are some of the ways I can help my country attain the highest growth? Number one, produce yourself. Most importantly, with your regenerative personality, let your country's struggle be your struggle towards helping your country to regain its lost productivity whilst aggrandizing its current productivity. So find out, with your regenerative strategy, how can you help your country's struggle be your struggle? How can you help the country regain its lost productivity whilst aggrandizing or intensifying their current productivity? Find out what are some of the productive enhancing food, productive enhancing herbal drinks or drugs or effective working practice or effective governance system you can introduce to help a country regain its lost productivity whilst aggrandizing its current productivity. Wrap your mind around this. Like as a man done by a man called Newman Ernest Bonham, an American agronomist, the father of Green Revolution. That time, he introduced a lot of high varieties of crop. During that time, in the area of wheat and other areas, he introduced high varieties of crop that helped to intensify, to aggrandise the level of productivity. During that time, he helped countries like Mexico and other countries to be the leading exporter of wheat. Pakistan and other countries. He helped to save over 1 billion people from starvation through his introduction of varieties of productivity. He got the Nobel Peace Prize Award. He got the Presidential Medal Freedom Award and a Congressional Good Medal Award over the period. And you can also think of how you epitomize that. Expansive. Number two, how can I help my country? What are some of the reverberating ways can I help my country experience that beginning growth? Number two, expansively. Shape the smartness and unconventional thinking of your leaders. Expansively. Sharpen the smartness and unconventional thinking of your leaders. Someone said, how do I do that? How can I sharpen the smartness and unconventional thinking of my leaders? Number one, how do I do that? Introduce innovative product, service, business model, and framework that will force these leaders to introduce policy to expand in production, both nationally and internationally. You can make your leaders more smart. You can sharpen the unconventional thinking. How? You can bring innovative product or service business model framework that will force them to introduce policies to expand its production both locally and internationally. Think about crowdfunding that was introduced around crowdfund that was introduced and somewhere started in somewhere in British somewhere, and now the British government have introduced a lot of policy, and the whole global world have become a global trend of financing business. Think about cryptocurrency that was introduced by these guys, Samantha Nakatomo. Now, because of cryptocurrency, most governments, most governments, central banks are thinking of introducing digital currency. The US, the China have even started, the Ghana, Nigeria, a lot of countries. Why? His idea of cryptocurrency have sharpened the smart of these leaders towards introducing digital currency. A lot of companies have introduced that. This guy Alipay, we have the Alipay, JP Morgan, we have also Elon Musk, all those people. Why? This guy have shaping the smartness of these leaders how to introduce digital currency. Without a cryptocurrency, these people have never thought of digital currency, and that's the world is trying to go. So you can sharpen in smartness, you can sharpen the unconventional thinking of your leaders, global, local, community, national leaders, by introducing an innovative product or service business model or framework that will force them into these policies to expand its production both locally and internationally. And that will help you to achieve that. Number three, assertively or assertively, or most importantly, build economic vibrancies of small and medium scale businesses and people economically disadvantaged personalities, build their economic vibrancies. How do you do that? Work towards introduction of effective business, financing, and management model that will help this group of people. Think about these things. Work towards how do you build economic vibrancies of small and medium scale firms and people economically disadvantaged. You can do that when you bring a very innovative, very effective business financing model, management model that will help these people financially and help them manage their business. Think about people who introduced venture capital. George DeRoche in 1946 introduced venture capital by venture capital helping startup entrepreneurs. Yeah, helping pull these startup entrepreneurs economic vibrancy. Think about who introduced the microfinance. Muhammad Yunus, the Bangladesh professor in economics in 1980, introduced microfinance that have helped more than 1 billion people in the world for small scale industries building their economic vibrancy with the Grand Bank. Wrap your mind around these things. Think about these William Watzel in 1978 brought about angel investors. Now you have those angel investors who can look at the people startup business, invest in it, and in returns they take equity. People who are very good, who have a lot of finances and liquidities, try to invest in these things, and in return they invest in business that they think is very, very propitious. They can produce the results. In returns, they take what they call securities. They take equities. They call them angel investors. That idea was brought up by Manco William Watzel in 1978. These people are able to build businesses, startup entrepreneurs, small scale companies and businesses, and also economically disadvantaged people, the economic vibrancies. You can also think about doing it. It can be in your community. You can just do it in your community. It doesn't have to be national or global. You can just do something in your community or among a group of people you belong to. You can just achieve anything in a group of people, in your group, in your community, in your country, wherever, what you think you can do. Number four, proactively ensure effective formalization and implementation of sensitive policy that actually draws on area of health, education, agriculture, and employment, especially in developing lower middle income countries. How can I help to ensure very robust, very resplendent implementation and formulation of sensitive policies that deal with health, education, agriculture, and employment over the period when it comes to developing lower middle income countries? How can I do that? Strongly advocate for the need for independent bodies should be made up of resource-oriented personalities to implement such sensitive policies. This will help to jettison or reduce any parochial interest or political interest and rent-seeking activities to achieve the needed propitious or proper results. In most developing lower middle income countries, policies that draws on agriculture and health and those things, employment, are being managed by political cronies. And these political cronies, most of the time, tends to purport their own parochial interests, purport their own rent-seeking activities that become very, very deleterious. And it doesn't help these policies to achieve their dream. Strongly advocate that such sensitive policies, government should handle them to independent bodies that are resource-oriented. That they will help these countries to achieve the needed results and jettison any issue of political cronies from this, as Park Chung-hyun, South Korean president, able to operationalize. Number 5, overridingly, help build a health capital of your country. How do I help build the health capital of the country? Work towards how you help the country to introduce compulsory health checkup and distribution of free contraceptive for families that are economically disadvantaged, families that are penniless and penniless family. How do you do that? Efficaciously. It facilitates staggering ideas that will enhance the revenue generating capabilities of your country to help finance these health capital programs for your country. What ideas can you contribute so that your country can raise enough money to provide free health checkup for people who are economically disadvantaged? A lot of people are dying in developing lower middle countries. They don't know their health state, they are sick, but don't know that they are sick. If the government can provide free health checkup for them, I think it will be very a palliative measure towards achieving that health capital of this country. How can you help your country help provide free contraceptives for families that are economically advantaged to help address the issue of very exacerbated population growth among this country? A woman called Karasa Halobatin, American nurse who founded American Records during the time American Civil War 19, a battlefield route in East. They didn't have anybody to attend to them. This woman rose to the challenge and helped these military and civilians that were sick. He fed them, clothed them, wrote letters to their family, read books to them, and most of them recovered. Help towards building the health capital of your country by ensuring that the country raise enough money to help the country raise enough money, give ideas that will help them raise enough money to help provide free health check-up and for people economically disadvantaged, and distribution of free contraceptive for families that are economically disadvantaged over the period to achieve that. This is your country. You cannot afford to wait. I want to remind you, go to my YouTube, have a lot of channel, have a lot of videos on YouTube. Go and watch them and subscribe to them. Nothing can stop you. Motivational message. Also on YouTube, I have another channel. Your marriage will be a state of mind. There are a lot of teachings on dating and caution. Watch them and subscribe to them. Have these ebooks. Help me to drive the sales. The sales are not going. I know you help me to do that. Body your competitiveness in the crowded build your competitiveness in the crowded planet. $4. Go to Amazon, Kendall and Gumroad. It will be impossible to have this world without you. $4. Amazon, Kendall and Gumroad. Your marriage will be a state of mind to the world. $5. Amazon, Kendall and Gumroad. There is something inside you. The world is in need of. $4. Amazon, Kendall and Gumroad. The leaders of generation team gets $5. Amazon, Kendall and Gumroad. Get this thing for yourself. Always remember, this is your country and you cannot afford to wait. Bye bye. See you another time for another video.